Welcome. We are going to have a little chat here. This is another financial video, and this is mainly for people who are planning to go back to school. How can you graduate without a student loan? Please stay up to the end because the last two are very, very important, and that's how I made it through without a huge student loan. Hello, welcome to my channel. For those who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Claudine Onsongo. I am a doctorally prepared nurse practitioner, certified in dual acute care and mental health psychiatry. I've gone through several degrees. I started out as a certified nursing assistant. I went for my LVN, I went for RN, and then I completed my RN to BSN. Went for my graduate degree, which I graduated with acute care. And then I went back for my doctorate. And finally, I decided to go for my mental health psychiatry certification. That's a little rundown about my degrees. And as you can imagine, that's a lot of money somebody will spend on education. And if I can tell you, I'm not bragging, but I have zero student loan. And it's different for everybody. And these are some of the things that I just wanted to share with you because you know what? Sharing is caring. And this may not be applicable to everybody. Please stay till the end because you can, even if it's not applicable to you, you can share with a friend, a colleague, a family member, a spouse, whoever you want to share with. This is something that can help you or anybody in the future. So the first way in which you can pay for your tuition, or rather your education, is by having your parents pay for it. Yes, some people are lucky, they have wealthy parents, and they will be willing to pay for it, even if they're not wealthy, but they can put aside part of their income to help pay for your loan, or rather your tuition. I know of a medical doctor who decided to take up a second job just so he can pay for his son. And how lucky. Yes. So one way is to have your parents pay for it. The second thing is scholarship. And this is common in a lot of schools, a lot of institutions, a lot of NGOs offer students scholarships. So you just have to check and see. Maybe the university you want to go to offers scholarships. Maybe your church, an NGO that you know that you're aware of. Certain families put together foundations in memory of their loved ones, in memory of certain things that happened in their life. So those are some of the things you can look out for and see what do they offer in terms of scholarship. You might be lucky to get like $500. That covers some things. Yeah, it covers books. Or you may be lucky to get a full ride scholarship. Even better. You know what? Make use of it if you can get scholarship, and make sure you stay in that scholarship rank, because some of them are based on performance. So if they give you scholarship but you don't perform based on what the expectation is, you're going to be dropped off. So you have to make sure you maintain your scholarship if you get one. The third one is work tuition reimbursement. And I'm going to flip it around. Let's start with number 4, which was on my list, which is work. Not every career requires you to be in class 24/7. You still have a lot of free time in between. You can be studying and you can be working at the same time. And that's how I made it through. I worked throughout my education career. Yes. While I was in LVN, I was working as a CNA. Yes, I had no life over the weekends. Weekends were meant for work because my program was Monday through Friday. Friday ended a little early, so my Fridays in the afternoon was for work up to the weekend, and we repeat it Monday like that. When I went for my RN, I still worked, and the same went for my graduate degree. I was lucky to work at an institution that offered self-scheduling, and we worked 3/12, and that was it. So with the self-scheduling, I could schedule myself to do my shifts back to back, and then that leaves me with 3 to 4 days off that I can use for my school, for studying, for clinicals, and what have you. So that was one of the advantages I had. Not every job will allow this, but if you can look for a job that allows that, even better. Tied together with work is reimbursement, tuition reimbursement. Talking about luck again, I was lucky to have a job that offered tuition reimbursement. It offered 2,000 per year for part-time employees and 4,000 per year for full-time employees. 4,000 per year is a lot of money when it comes to your tuition. So that helped cut down the cost of my expenses in terms of paying for tuition, in terms of buying for other things that I needed for school. So if you can get a job that pays off for that, that's well and good. Some jobs even offer to pay for your tuition, but it's tied together with other things. I know for sure VA offers to pay for your education, but you have to work for them for a certain number of years. And I know other institutions as well here within the Texas area that offer the same. If that's the case, really, let's take a scenario. Your job is going to pay for your 30,000 of tuition, but they want you to work for them for 3 years. I'll go for it. Yes, that 30,000 out of your paycheck is a lot of money. And you know, if you have to go get student loan, this comes with a lot of interest as well. So definitely that's something to look into and see what does this place offer. And if you know that's the route you're going to take, you might as well start looking early to see what does this place offer for me when I decide to go back to school. And those are some of the things that can keep you in a place of work. Next, number 5 is side hustles. These days, there's a lot of side hustles, some that you don't even have to be there physically. A lot of people are making a bunch of money through social media, through digital products, Etsy, call it. I'll do a video about Etsy, but everybody's different. So whatever side hustle you can figure out, let it help you pay for your tuition. I want to speak for myself. When I went back for my postgraduate certification in mental health, I was already working a full-time job as a nurse practitioner. But then I also still had my RN license. So I took up a few shifts here and there, working at an LTAC. Yes, I went back to bedside nursing, and it was just amazing. So the money I made there was strictly for my tuition, and I set it aside. I didn't touch it because I knew this was my target. So in a month, I'll pick up maybe like 1 or 2 shifts, and that would help cover up a certain portion of my tuition. The other thing that really helped me when I went for my when I went for my doctorate is there's a form that I had to give my employer to sign. And this was just to say that they could send like promotional videos or other emails to this to my employer, which he or she can share with other students or other employees. So this was like a way of marketing their school. And out of that, if I had it signed, every time I had it signed, I got a 20% reimbursement. Do you know how much that was? Let's take a scenario. Your tuition is $4,000 for that semester. You get a 20% reimbursement. That's about $800, is it? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, somewhere around there. So it was a lot of money by the end of the day, which you really didn't work hard for. All I needed to do is fill out the form, give it to HR, sign it, give it back to me, and I send it to them, and that's it. Get my 20% reimbursement back. That's huge. So whatever options you have with your institution, both school and work, make sure you explore them. The other thing I want to talk about is personal savings. This is number 6. Personal savings. If you know you're going to go back to school, you can start cutting down on your expenses. Save, save, save. If you're living alone in an apartment, you're probably paying $1,000 to $1,500 per month for your housing. If you are lucky, you can move back in with your parents. Not everybody wants to do that. If you have the option to, this can save you money. I know people move back with their parents, even their parents-in-law, just so they can save a couple of money. There are people who also have to seek having roommates. Not everybody does well with roommates. I had roommates my whole educational career, undergraduate, and it helped us save a lot because we shared the expenses, we shared our stress level together because we were both in nursing programs. So at least we understood each other. We understood what each other went through, and with that, we also encourage each other along this journey. So if you can share and save on that, whatever the scenario is for you, you can do that. But the main thing is just to cut down on your expenses. You can take up extra jobs before you go to school or before you start being busy. Let's say like in nursing, the first few semesters are like for basic prerequisites. But once you start your core courses, it can be tough because you'll be required to do a lot of classwork, a lot of assignments, you'll be going for clinicals. So you probably won't get the same amount of time when you're in your core courses. So I said number 7 was important. And this is one thing that I've utilized, and you can utilize it as well. So the final one, number 7, is credit card checks. Yes, this is strange to some people, but some people might be aware about it. So it all depends on your credit history. If you have a credit card, these credit cards, people have different theories about them, but personally, I love them. And my credit score is one of those that I've made sure I keep and maintain it to the core. But let's go back here. Let's not be distracted. Credit card checks. So both my bank accounts that I have credit card with send me blank checks every couple of months. And this is a sample of it. So they send you a check and they tell you, you can cash it. This is the transaction amount. I believe one of them is 3.99%. And the other one is 4.99%. And these percentages are the transaction amount. So let's say you decide to write a check of $10,000 to yourself. This $10,000 you write, they charge you 3.99 transaction fee. So 10,000, 3.99, that's $400 in service fee. And then every month they give you an amount that you have to pay, a minimum amount. But then on overall, they also tell you you have till this much time to pay it back. Most of the time it's a year to a year and a half that I've seen. And this is how I paid for my part of my postgraduate certification. I wrote myself a check, and every month I was paying off the amount, minimum amount they needed, and some extra. So with this, at least you know you have a target date. If you have written yourself $10,000, you have up to a year and a half to pay it off. But this can be really tricky. If you're not going to get this money within this certain time, I wouldn't really recommend it. And this is because let's say, okay, right now, this is August. They give you a year to pay it. So August 2025, that will be your deadline. If you write yourself a check of $10,000 and you're paying a minimum, let's say a minimum of $100 per month, you're not going to make it to that time. By the time it's due for payment, you probably won't be done paying off. And if you're not done paying off, the interest rate is horrible, horrible, horrible. I believe one of them is like 24%. That's huge. If this is the route that you might end up in, then I wouldn't really recommend it. But if you know you can work hard and pay off that amount of money by that time, then it's definitely something you can consider. So those are my main points. I'm sorry this video was long, but those are some of the ways in which you can finish your education without student loan. So I hope this can be helpful to you, can be helpful to a colleague, can be helpful to anybody. Please comment, share, and please let me know some of the ways in which you were able to pay off your tuition without taking out some student loan. Of course, this is not inclusive for all courses, all careers, because some careers are very, very demanding, like medical school, physician assistant school. If you go to CRNA schools, those are very demanding, but these are very doable with a lot of these general courses, regardless of which career you choose. Those are some of the means you can utilize, and I hope it can help you. Until next time, peace out.